speed bubble, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video, so please forgive me if I'm a bit awkward or don't really know what I'm doing, but I just thought I'd give it a go. I started this channel just for a bit of fun really. I want to share a bit about my life, what it's like living in Melbourne, a bit about my recovery, my recipes, exercises that I really enjoy, struggles as well, just like everyday things really. I just want to help other people. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what your interests are. Yeah, so I'll just start off with a few things about me. So first of all, my name is Victoria. I am 21 years old and I currently live in Melbourne. You may know me on Instagram as Recovering Victoriously. I started that account I think at the start of lockdown, so like back in March, just because I wanted to share my story, a bit about my recovery, and wanted to get in touch with other people who have been in the same boat, I suppose. I moved to Melbourne when I was 18, straight out of school. All my friends went straight to uni, but I decided to do a gap year. Yes, gap year. My original plan was to stay in Melbourne for 6 months, save up some money, make some friends, and then travel Asia, and then start uni in the UK. I had a spot in Exeter, the University of Exeter, to study law, but there was a bit of a change of plan. I fell in love with Melbourne. I think it was 3 days in, I wanted to stay here for the rest of my life. Ended up doing my second year working holiday visa, and then when that was coming to an end, I was like, oh God, what do I do? Oh God, how do I stay in this amazing place? So I went onto a student visa, oh God, and I am now in my second year of university, studying law at Swinburne. I was born in London, and then I moved to the beautiful island of Guernsey when I was 6 years old because of my dad's job. So my mum, my dad, and my younger brother Tom, an amazing childhood, grew up in such an amazing place. However, it's a bit small. I think the population is about 60,000, so everyone knew everyone. I'm sure people understand if you live in a small town, but yeah, everyone knew everyone, and I just needed to get out and move to Melbourne. My parents obviously weren't 100% keen that I was moving to the other side of the world, but I needed to be independent, I needed a break, I needed a gap year, as people say. So yeah, I've only been home once in nearly 3 years. Unfortunately, my parents haven't come out yet, but hopefully after all of this lockdown shenanigans, they'll come out and see me and see my life, see my friends, see how awesome Melbourne is. So I was super nervous when I first got to Melbourne. I grew up thinking I was a very awkward person. I had amazing friends, they're still so close to me, but just in the back of my head I always thought, oh, I'll never be able to make new friends. I'm very shy. I'm confident once you get to know me, but making new friends is a scary thing. So I threw myself straight into the deep end basically. Moved to Melbourne, had to make friends on my own. I didn't know anyone except for my uncle, my auntie, and my wonderful cousin Purdy. They have lived in Melbourne for 20 years, so they were like my base. But the people I met at my first job were incredible, still really close now. And then there's like a rule, or part of the work holiday visa, you can only work in one place for 6 months and then you have to go somewhere else. So I worked in a really cool bar, the Boat Builders Yard, down on South Bank in the Melbourne city. Stayed there for 6 months, and then there was a little blip, could we call it, with my eating disorder. I'm going to do more videos that go into more detail about that, but let's just say I hit rock bottom in terms of my eating disorder. So yes, I have had anorexia since the age of 12. Still in recovery now, but if I'm honest, I am the freest I ever have been. Physically and mentally, I feel so much better than I did, when I was 18 when I first moved to Melbourne. But yeah, so I'll go into more detail after. But basically had to take a break from work, and then at the end of the 6 months had to find another job. So I have now been a restaurant supervisor at Ludlow Bar and Dining Room, also in the Melbourne city, for over 2 years now. Absolutely love it, made the best friends ever, still friends now. It's where I met Joe, who is my boyfriend. So the hospitality industry was great for me to make friends, move to a new country. Everyone's in the same boat really. I think I've worked mainly with English people or people from Europe, which is weird considering I'm in Australia. I have made amazing Australian friends, but it just shows you how awesome Melbourne is because so many people from so far away come here and they stay. So yeah, Joe's English as well. Our families actually, funnily enough, live about half an hour away from each other. We met out here, we didn't meet at home. But yeah, he's English as well. Loads of my friends are English and loads of my friends are American, Australian, German, Dutch. So you meet everyone in Melbourne. It's such a great place, it really is. So as I said before, I'm currently studying law at university. So my dream is, at the end of my degree, to become a top-notch lawyer in Melbourne and hopefully travel around. I'm currently watching Suits. Not that life as a lawyer is like that in real life, but yeah, loving Suits at the moment. My dream when I was younger was always to be a famous actress. I love being on stage. Used to compete with my best friend in the competitions. But as I got older, I sort of realised how cutthroat that industry is. It's still a dream of mine. But yeah, now I want to be a lawyer. I've also done some modelling. My parents always said to stay clear of the modelling industry, but I really enjoy it. And I know my weaknesses, I know my triggers, so I don't want to let that industry trigger my eating disorder. But yeah, I really enjoy modelling. I'd love to do some more, but yeah. So a bit more about me. I am obsessed with baking, as you can probably tell from my Instagram if you follow me. Like, whenever there's a free moment, I'll just be like, oh, what should I eat? Bake. I've always been like that. At the start of my eating disorder, I used to bake for my family, like, so much, but I would never eat it. But the difference is now, I bake stuff that I enjoy because I know I'm going to eat it and I know I'm going to enjoy it. So I guess that's a positive. Also, I've got no idea how many calories are in my baking, which is great. Challenging, but great. Also obsessed with shopping. Growing up, that was pretty difficult because, yeah, let's just say my dad didn't really like it. I've had a job since the age of 14, but my shopping obsession continues. I love clothes. When I first moved into Joe's, I actually broke the wardrobe because I got too many clothes. We had to buy more storage. I've got drawers, I've got a wardrobe, I've got storage boxes, I've got drawers under the bed. I just get so attached to my clothes. Yeah, sorry. I am also a bit obsessed with going for brunch. My friends all call me the brunch queen. What better place to be than Melbourne? Melbourne is like brunch central. We're known for our brunches. And I have a bit of like a bucket list thing for all the brunch places I want to go. I've been to over, God, I'd probably say 400 cafes in my time in Melbourne, and there's so many more I want to go to, but I always take pictures. I always choose the most extravagant dish. That's sort of related to my eating disorder because I restricted myself of these foods for so long that I just want to go all out now. I don't want to restrict myself anymore. So when I see pancakes with fairy floss and ice cream and chocolate, I order it because I was so deprived for so long. That's not to say I don't have savoury food as well, but yeah, I love brunch. I love brunch. There's just something so exciting about going out, reading the menu, struggling not to choose because you want everything. A lovely hot Melbourne coffee comes, and then you've just got this anticipation, waiting for your food. You get the perfect picture, you post it on Instagram, and then people just say, oh my God, like, what is that? Is that even food? That's too pretty to eat. Almost too pretty to eat. It always tastes amazing. But yeah, I'll do some more posts about like reviews and my favourite cafes. Forgive me if this is a bit cliche. If I could be anyone apart from me, it would be Blake Lively, Serena van der Woodsen. I just think she is beautiful. She's perfect. Not that there's such thing as perfection. I'm trying to learn that. But yeah, it would be her. She is my idol. Although in saying that, my dream when I was younger was to be an Olympic swimmer. So I've always been very active. I always did every activity, every after school activity. Then I had to decide swimming or performing. And I chose swimming. Looking back on it, I sort of wish I'd chose dancing, acting. But anyway, it is what it is. I was addicted to swimming in a good way for most of it. Used to train 7 times a week, sometimes more. Before school, after school, weekends. We'd compete on the weekends. I loved going to England for swimming competitions. I'm a very competitive person. Everything I do, I want to be the best at, which I'm also trying to accept that that's not possible with everything. But yeah, I remember watching the 2012 Olympic closing ceremony at my best friend's house and had this dream that I had to be at the 2016 Olympics. And so I just trained and trained and trained. Fortunately, probably triggered my eating disorder a bit and got obsessed. But yeah, that's just a little side note, one of my past dreams. My favourite colour is pink, and blue. But yeah, favourite colour is pink. Pink, 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 everything. It just makes me happy. And I'm a bit of a girly girl too, I suppose. I have always wanted long hair. It's obviously not very long at the moment. I actually cut it myself the other day because lockdown, blah blah blah, whatever. I also cut my own fringe. Did that a while ago, but for some reason it's not growing back. I think part of the reason why my hair doesn't grow is not blaming you, Mum, but sort of am. When I was 8 years old, we went on holiday to France. It was such a good holiday. It was one of those Euro camp things where you stay in a mobile home. It's safe to say my mum had a few glasses of wine, and I remember lying on the sofa and I just said, "Mum, I want a haircut." I remember saying, "Mum, I want a haircut." And she said, "Yeah, cool, come on, let's go." And I was like, "Oh, what, now? Sure, okay." So she took me into the bathroom with the nail scissors. She grabbed the front chunk of my hair. My hair was probably maybe a bit longer than it is now. She grabbed the front chunk of my hair and just cut straight above my ear. I remember my heart just dropped. I know I was only 8 years old, but I just remember it so clearly. And then I was like, "Oh my God, Mum, what have you done? What have you done?" And she said, "Oh, well, I've started now. I've got to keep going." So she snipped all the way around, and I'm pretty sure I looked like a boy for a whole year. Ever since then, it's grown so slowly. Doesn't really seem to want to grow, but I've always wanted long hair. That's just another thing. My favourite place I've ever been on holiday would be South Africa. Joe and I went there just over a year ago for a month. It was incredible. It was just so beautiful. The people are amazing. Like, the variety of places we went to is just amazing. The weather, we did a safari, we did the whole Southern Cape. Oh my God, it was just incredible. I finished in Cape Town, such a beautiful place, and everyone was just so happy. I also love New York. That was the last family holiday we did before moved over here. New York is amazing. I'd go back there tomorrow if I could. One place I haven't been that I really, really want to is Hawaii. I just like the idea of chilling on the beach all day in the sun, because I hate being cold. Oh, I hate the cold, and I'm always cold. So yeah, that would be nice. My death row meal, for starters, I would have the salmon nori taco from Mr. Miyagi, which is my favourite restaurant ever. For main, it would be truffle mushroom gnocchi with lots of cheese. And for dessert, it would be the chocolate mousse from Petit Bistro, which is a French restaurant back in Guernsey. During lockdown, I have really started to appreciate food more. Before lockdown, Joe and I literally went out for dinner every single night. We never cooked, ever. I mean, there are so many amazing restaurants in Melbourne. We're spoiled for choice, so we never really needed to cook. We were either working late, so we'd have food at work, but we never really cooked. But over lockdown, obviously, we haven't had that option, and I've really learned to appreciate food so much. Created really nice recipes, I think. I've also created an ebook, and I'll put the link in the description box down below with my recipes in it. But it's also really helped with my recovery from anorexia. Creating food and appreciating your ingredients that you put in just makes the whole experience a lot more enjoyable, rather than just, yep, here's your food, eat it, cool, done. Choosing something, making it your own, adding things that you like, changing things is something I've really learned to love. Not only baking, but also savoury meals as well. So I guess that's one of the perks of lockdown. Just another thing, Melbourne's gone back into lockdown, unfortunately. So we had freedom for about 2 weeks. Everyone went crazy, we all went out. And now we're back to square one. But I guess that means more baking. I start uni again in 2 weeks, so got that to look forward to keep me busy. But yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up. I don't really know. Yeah, hopefully I haven't bored you too much. Also comment below what sort of things you want to see on my channel. I know I've got some ideas, but let me know what you think. And yeah, thanks guys.